everybody and welcome back to our Back to Basics series. Yesterday we put a couple of pockets in, and it dawned on me later afterwards that we hadn't actually stenciled this page. We put the pocket in but we didn't stencil it. So let's just isolate that page again. Just pop some stencils on there. Now, I don't want it to go over onto that page, so I'll fold that back out of the way. And I don't want it to go on our pocket. So what I'm just going to do is, yes, I am. I don't know where my, oh, we can use this because this is a piece of scrap paper. Right. So I can I'll just tear a piece off there. And this is going to be to stop us stenciling over the pocket. Now, if you were smart and remembered to stencil before you put your pocket on, you won't need to do this. But I forgot. So where have I put things? Here's my stencil. Here's my ink, which I'm just going to tuck in there, and my brush. So I'm just going to, as we did before, lightly put a couple of stencils on it. Just make sure that's covering that pocket because I don't want it on there. And we'll just come in with one at the top like that. And I've got my pad anchored up against my board so it's not moving anywhere, allowing me to fill the brush up. Lovely. And maybe just one here. There we go. So that's it. We've got our two stencils on the page. They look so pretty. Really worth putting on, I think. So that goes like that, doesn't it? And then let's see about putting it back in the journal. So I've folded these ones that way on, so that goes in there, that goes there. And doesn't that look pretty? It looks really nice. Right, so today's agenda is we're going to make some tuck spots. Now those are easy, but they add quite a lot to a journal, I think. So let's make a tuck spot for this page. Now, let's measure it. We know what it measures, but let's just do it again. It measures 5 3/4. Now, a tuck spot is a diagonal. It's like that, and it fits into the corner of your page. That's basically what a tuck spot is. It's just single though, just one piece. So we need to know how far across we want this to come. And once again, I'm going to do it on the outside edge to keep the bulk away from the spine. So I think we could do with having it 4 or 4.5 inches. 4.5 inches. So that, yeah, so that would be there. Yeah, I think that's all right. I think 4.5 inches. Right, so what we need to do is cut ourselves a piece of paper that is 4.5 inches square. Or you could, yeah, let's use this piece. Let's use this piece. And I'm going to use the edges that were cut in the factory, so I know they are exactly square. I'm pretty sure mine are square, but this way we will definitely be square. So that's the other side of that paper, but I'm opting for this side for this one. And right, just with my little quilting ruler, or you could easily use just a normal ruler. In fact, let's use the normal ruler. So I'm just going to measure up 4.5 inches. So get your 1/2 inch right on that corner. Measure up 4.5 and make a pencil mark there. And then the same along this side, 4.5. and make a pencil mark there. And then all you need to do is join those pencil marks on the edge of the paper, like so. And sometimes you have to just move them around a little bit because the ruler wants to go walkies. So that's it, that's perfect. Now you could draw a line with your pencil and then cut it out with scissors. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm going to use my rotary cutter when I find it under everything else. And I'm just going to cut up there. So there we have it. We've got a little tuck spot, which we are going to put here, perhaps. That would be a good place for it. So it's just going to go into there, and then you can tuck things into there. You can decorate it, which we will towards the end. We'll go decorating. But that's just a handy little tuck spot. Right, so let's just run around it with a bit of ink. Don't let me forget to do the stenciling, because that could happen. We know. We know that. So I'm going to ink around all the three edges of it. So if you're a quilter and you've got right-angled triangles in a ruler, now's a perfect time to use it. But I know not all of us have. I don't think I have anyway. But that's all it is. It's a right-angled triangle at the dimensions that we decided, which was 4.5. Right, let's do the stenciling next, because it'll save any fiddle-faddling around later. So let's just take this page out of the book and turn that way so I know where it's going back to. I'm a bit short of space around here. As ever, that's a fairly general thing. So it's going there. It's going on this one here. So let's just get the stencil out again, and the ink and the brush, and just, you don't have to do this. This is not, it's not necessary for the entire journal. It's just, I wanted something that looked pretty at the end of it, so we could be proud of what we've done. So pop that one there, put a little one here, some of which you won't see because it'll be under the tuck spot. And maybe just a tiny bit down here. I think I've still got enough ink on my brush. Yeah, there we are. I mean, that in itself just looks gorgeous. So let's apply our tuck spot. And that's where it's going to go. Yeah, that looks nice. Right, let's just open this up. And then we don't have the bother of, is it going to stick to the next page down if the glue squishes, etc. So I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and I'm not going to glue the long diagonal. I'm going to do the 2 square edges. Just take your time. I think this is the thing we all get caught up with, making things really quick. You absolutely don't have to. Take your time. All the materials that you're using cost a fortune, so get as much pleasure out of them as you can. So just get that lined up there and lined up there. And yes, I have got some glue squishing out. An interloper. There we are. So that's that. And that goes there. And there. Lovely. So let's just have a look and see what we've got. We've got this pocket on the front. Then we've got our page. Then we've got that. So, I mean, all together, it's coming together. Now we're going to do another tuck, but a slightly different one this time. Slightly different. This time we are going to cut a square out. I quite like this size, this 4.5 inch size. I think that's fine. Let's just see. I want it sort of in the back. There's the centre. Yeah. Maybe here. Maybe here is a good page. It's the other side of the centre spread, so that's all right. So let's do the little bit of stenciling first so we know we've done it. So I'm just going to bring that in from the edge. Like that. And this time it'll be going on this corner because that's the outside corner. So maybe a little bit down here as well. Just keep them random, as random as you can. I think that will be fine. I think that's enough. So we'll pop the lid on that. Don't forget to pop the lid on your inks as soon as you've finished with them because they'll just dry out. Then you'll be sorry, and they're not cheap. Right, we've got that one, but I don't really want to use that one. So let's have a look through our pack and see what we've got. Let's take them out and have a little flip through the pack. So those are my... Oh, there's some words as well. Oh, they're in some of the language. Oh yeah, happy birthday, happy moments, congrats, favourite people, happy Easter, happiness and well-being, to a dear sister. I don't think these are... Oh, spring in the soul, that's quite nice. Home sweet home, yeah. Scent of flowers. So there are some that we could use. They're not all ideal, but there are some. Right, so there's this one, which we already used for the sideways pocket. And on the back of that is... Oh, that, isn't that gorgeous? Then that one, we've already used one of those sheets. That's on the back of that. That's very pretty, isn't it? Oh, and that's on the back of that. Oh, that's lovely. It's a really pretty paper pad, this. And that's the same, because you get two. I like that. Really like that. This one, yeah, I really like that one too. And that's, oh, there's so many lovely ones. And that's the same, because as I say, you get two. This one, it's on the back of that. Just can't catch the edge. Ah, now that may well become our centre spread, actually. I think, possibly. And we've got two of those. And then this, which is, if you should be so inclined to fussy cut, which I don't think I am. And then that's the front cover. So there are bits on the front cover that you could use as well, actually. So that's that, and we're still not any closer to deciding what we're going to make the tuck out of. I don't know, what does that measure? What does it measure? I do not know. Can I get a 4.5 inch square out of that? Still having those deer? No, if I put it that way, I've got a 90-degree line along there, and I can see it would slice the deer's head off. So that's not exactly a good idea. That one we've already used. That one, no, I don't want to use that for this. Although I love that. I'll leave that one out because that's a firm favourite. That's really pretty as well, isn't it? And that also. No, I'm gonna use the one that I selected. And be careful with your papers that you don't catch the edges, because you know it can happen in a heartbeat, and then you've got to have to cut a bit off because it's a bit manky. Right, so this is what I'm going to use, and what I'm going to do is cut a 4.5 inch square out of it. Now, as I say, I'm lucky with mine because I've got 90-degree lines, so that should tell me exactly when I'm on 4.5, but we'll just do it this way. So along there you get to 4.5, down here you get to 4.5. And you line those up really carefully, and then you can, if you want, draw a line and cut it out with your scissors. Or if you are proficient with a scalpel, you can do it with a scalpel or a craft knife or whatever. I'm going to just change mine round a bit because that corner of my quilting ruler has been clunked once too often. 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, so 2. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So that's my square, my 4.5 square there. Oops. Something holding this up. There we are. There we have it, our lovely 4.5 inch square. And on the other side we've got that beautiful wisteria, but that doesn't matter because we are going to be covering the other side up. Now I'm just going to use some plain cream paper, if I can get it out of here. And it's 100 GSM, so it's quite thin. You could use just ordinary copier paper for this. I just happen to have this, so I'm using it. I'm using it up really because I don't use it for much. And let's pop that away out of my... Right, so now what you could do is cut another 4.5 inch piece off here and marry the two. For some reason, every time I do that, they never marry perfectly. So what I'm going to do is stick this down onto there and then cut it out. So I'm going to use my collal for that. It's a larger area, and I like to use collal when I'm doing something a bit larger. So just stop just short of the edges if you can, because then when it squishes, and this is quite a squishy glue, then when it squishes it'll squish all the way to the edge. So do that all over. If you've got any bits that you think are excess, just take them off with your finger. So let's just stick this right in the corner, and that'll be two sides cut for us already. So there we are, place it down. And with the collal, like I said, it can be a little bit squidgy. So just take your finger and go around, but push in. Like that. So all the way around. And with the collal, you do get time to think. You know, if that's not quite in the right place, you can actually I can still move this now. Whereas with the art glitter, there's not a hope. You would not. It would be down, it would be down. You've got no kind of second chance. So that's that. If you're not entirely happy, just take the edge of your bone folder, make sure that it's down there like that. Good contact all the way throughout. There we are. So now all we need to do is cut that out. And use some quite large scissors. It's easier to cut, I find, with large scissors than nibbling away with smaller ones. So get your scissors there, and you can feel it. You can feel when they're starting to butt up to that cardboard. Listen to me. Design paper. And down here. There we go. So this is a remnant, don't throw it away. They're always useful for something. Right, there we have it. This will be our tuck spot. And when you open it up, you'll have journaling space there. So I just want to wait for that glue to dry just a second. Okay, so we're back. This has had a little while to dry properly. And there's no right and wrong way this. It's just some flowers tossed. And that tends to be what they call patterns like this, flower toss. But we need to fold this in half. Now, if you've got a scoreboard, that's great. Do it on your scoreboard. But I suspect a lot of people who are new starters don't have a scoreboard, so let's do it this way. Line your ruler up with your corners. And get a blunt knife. Don't do this with a sharp knife because you'll end up with two halves. And just crease down the side of the ruler. Do it a few times. There we are. So I've got a score line in there now. And I want to just score it along that line. It's not scoring very readily, so let's put another line in it. Let's do it again. I don't want to cut through it, so yeah, that might be a bit better, I think. Yeah, I can see that on the other side. So you fold it so it's along that score line from corner to corner. Make sure you get your corners nice and square. So along that line that you've just creased. And then you take your bone folder and give that a good burnish, which is what we call it when you go over a line like a score line. So there we have it. We've got a little tuck spot. It's a tuck spot, but yay, it's a secret journaling space. So that's the first of our sort of, well, I wouldn't call it complicated, but we're moving on. We're moving along. So let's just have a look and make sure this is square, because at this stage, yeah, you can see there are bits that just aren't square. So I'm just going to take my scissors, don't worry about it, it happens to everybody, and I'm just going to square that up. Just with my scissors. There's next to nothing, but as you can see, it's not much, but enough to make it not exactly right. Okay, so here's our page, and that's the center spread. This is the next one to it. So it's going to go that way, right in the corner there. And we're just going to glue that down like that, but we're going to leave this open. So we've also got a tuck spot there, and we've got our journaling in there. How clever. It's really clever. And this form of tuck spot, for some reason, I guess the lady was the first one to come up with it, is called a Rita Donnelly tuck spot, and it's known universally as that. So if you're doing this sort of tuck spot, it's a Rita Donnelly tuck spot. I don't even know who Rita Donnelly is, I'm afraid to say. So let's just ink around these edges. Take your time. Of course, you don't have to ink. You really don't have to. And the other thing is, oh, that was a bit of a splodge, wasn't it? The other thing is, if you are using single-sided paper, then inside yours will be white to start with. So you don't need to add anything onto it. And let's just ink around here as well. I'm having to add journaling paper to the inside of mine because I've got double-sided paper. So you can use your dauber with the handle on if you've got one. If not, I recommend these. They get the job done. Apart from that little muck up there, but that's neither now nor something, as my father would have said. So let's stick that on there. Let's just open that up, just in case the glue splodges through from this page to that one, and get the art glitter out. And once again, we're just doing the 2 straight edges. Right up to the tip there, that's it. Pop the lid back on your glue. Get into the habit of always putting the lid back on your glue when you've finished with it, because it'll dry out and then you won't be able to get it out of the pot, and then you'll get angry. So just get into the habit of putting the lid on your glue every time. So straight along there and straight along there. My goodness me, we're straight. We are straight. So there we have it, our Rita Donnelly tuck spot. So we can tuck things in there once the glue's dry, and we can write on there. How nice is that? It's lovely, isn't it? Right, so let's put that back in our journal and see what we've achieved today. It's always nice to have a look through and see what you've achieved. Right, well, that was day 1 when we put that on there. Then today we've put this tuck spot there. And stenciling adds so much to these pages, it really does. If you can find a nice little floral stencil, then I'd really recommend you use it. It does a lovely job. Nothing on this page. We've got the elks and the moose and whatever. Nothing on this page. Plenty of room still to go at, guys. Nothing there. Nothing there. And then on here we've got our Rita Donnelly tuck spot, which is probably the cleverest thing we've done so far in this journal. Now you don't need to worry about fastening it down. It will, through time and being in the journal, it will just hold itself down there anyway. Then we've got our graph paper, nothing on there. Then the seals, then our long edge pocket, and I think that's all we've done so far. Yeah, that's it. So it's coming along. There we go. Right, join me again for part, what is it? Part 4, I think, where we'll be doing more exciting stuff in our little signature. So see you then. Bye for now, guys.